we've got some news! So for our first bit of news, the Silph League has announced the theme for the tournament in the month of November, and this theme is the Ferocious Cup. So much like tournaments that were held previously, you're only allowed to bring a team of 6 unique Pokemon that fit the theme of this tournament. So if Raichu was eligible to compete in this tournament, you're not allowed to bring a team of 6 Raichus. However, you are able to bring 1 Raichu and 1 Alolan Raichu, since Alolan Pokemon count as their own unique species. Also, much like previous tournaments, all of the competitions will be held in Great League, so only the Pokemon up to 1500 CP are eligible to compete in these tournaments. Unlike tournaments of the past, this one will not be based on Pokemon types. So unlike how the Sinister Cup only allowed Pokemon that were Ghost, Psychic, Steel, or Fighting types, this time around, the selection of Pokemon that are eligible for this tournament is limited to a selection of land-based beast Pokemon inspired by the fearsome beasts that rule the land. So the Silph League has actually created a specific whitelist of 130 eligible Pokemon that you can use for this tournament, and I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description down below as to which Pokemon are eligible for this tournament. I'll also be breaking down the meta for this cup in a later video. So for our next bit of news, we will soon have a global online PvP match system through a new feature called Go Battle League. So as of right now, we don't really know too much about this feature. Some things we do know: for one, you'll need to walk in order to gain entry into Go Battle League. Which, as to whether or not the walking will count to some sort of battle pass or some sort of item that you need to gain entry into the Go Battle League, or it'll just provide some direct access into Go Battle League, is currently unknown, but for the most part we just know that walking a certain amount of kilometers is required in order to gain entry to Go Battle League. Another thing that we do know is that the online matches will be ranked matches, so you'll be able to see where you stack up on a global leaderboard. And we know that Go Battle League is set to release in early 2020. Niantic is currently planning on releasing a special Dev Insights video about Go Battle League, so definitely be keeping an eye out for that video, and or definitely keeping an eye out on this channel when we do talk about all the features that were mentioned in that Dev Insights video about Go Battle League. So for our next bit of news, we have a couple of interesting updates to Team Go Rocket. So recently, Professor Willow has discovered a mysterious component that has been dropped by Go Rocket grunts that were defeated in battle. He has recently created a report about this mysterious component, which I'll go ahead and leave a link to down in the description down below if you want to go check it out. But the TLDR of that report is that this component seemed to be the device that was used to take over the Pokestops and collect the resources. There seemed to have been a secondary use case for that component, but as of right now, that use case is unknown, and it is believed that this device could be used to potentially track down the Go Rocket hideouts. Officially, that is all that we currently know about this device, but we're actually able to speculate a little bit more about how this component is going to play out in Pokemon Go, thanks to our next and final bit of news. So Niantic has recently started slowly rolling out the new APK for Pokemon Go, which is version 0.159, and dataminers have found some interesting things in the code, some of which also relate back to the Team Go Rocket hideouts, as well as possibly to the uses of the mysterious component. So one of the things that the dataminers have found is a consumable map device, which is consumable in terms of something similar to like incense or like lucky eggs or star pieces. And it seems that this device, once used, will be able to find Go Rocket HQs. And not only that, but it's also worth noting that these map devices can be upgraded, which I'm assuming is what the mysterious components will be used for. Other than that, there has been some code that has been added in relation to an item known as the Rocket Radar. I'm assuming is most likely the device the player will use in order to actually utilize the map devices. So once we're able to find a Go Rocket HQ, there are 3 possible encounters according to the code that you can have once you enter the hideout. And these encounters are Decoy Grunts, Executives, and Giovanni. So the first and probably the most annoying of the three encounters are the decoy grunts, which seem to be just a stronger variation of the grunts that you'll normally encounter at Pokestops. The next encounter is the executives, which seem to be the three Team Go Rocket members that have been teased earlier on, which are Cliff, Arlo, and Sierra. And lastly, the other encounter is the head of Team Go Rocket himself, Giovanni. So if you happen to encounter and defeat Giovanni at one of these Go Rocket HQs, the data miners are also able to find a brand new medal that you will receive once you defeat Giovanni. Not only will you be able to get bragging rights for beating Giovanni, as well as possibly a Shadow Legendary, depending on if the rumors are true or not, but you'll also be able to get a brand new shiny medal. Another thing worth noting about the APK is that Galarian forms have been found in the code. So these forms will most likely be released in celebration of the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield, much like how the Alolan forms were released in celebration of Pokemon Sun and Moon. So right now there are only 3 Galarian forms that are found in the code, and those are the forms for Weezing, Zigzagoon, and Linoon. As of right now, it is uncertain as to whether or not they'll include future Galarian forms such as Galarian Ponyta, but that one we'll just have to wait and see in about a month or so. One other thing worth noting about this APK is that there are 2 new fighting type moves that were found in the code, one of which is Aura Sphere, which is most famously tied to the fighting Pokemon Lucario, and the other is Flying Press, which is a particularly interesting addition considering that's the signature move for the Gen 7 Pokemon Hawlucha, and considering the fact that we've just started rolling out Gen 5, we'll probably not be seeing Hawlucha for quite some time, so it's interesting to see that its signature move was added much sooner than Hawlucha was. So that's all of the news I have for today. I will see you guys in the next video.